Whenever you are. And I'm seeing us on my restream. Everything is working for me. Are you seeing us? Well, you're not. You didn't start us yet. So Jordan, whenever you're ready, dear.
All right, we are going in about 10, 9, 8,
Sounds like New Year's Eve.
7, 6,
Six.
5, 4,
Here we go.
3, 2, 1. And
Okay.
actually, real quick, we're not doing audio.
Oh, you're not doing audio. Okay. I would have played my own, but all right, that's fine. Okay. You
Apologies
good?
for
You
that.
gonna put it in afterwards or not?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Post. All right. Go ahead. Oh, so I'm starting the show. Okay. Well, I can't get my guest to dance with me because we're doing a new protocol here. Happy New Year. This is akaRadioRed. We're on LinkedIn. Yeah, Angela's dancing anyway. I should have set it up. You know what? Sometime during the show, I'm going to play the intro audio just so you can all dance with me. That's fine. Happy New Year to everybody. It's 2025, a nice number with a five at the end. That must mean something important. This is the place where I am on Monday evenings. It's a little after 5 p.m. Eastern time here. I'm in Tennessee. Oh, it's the warm South. It's only 26 degrees tonight, Fahrenheit, of course, and it's just Bill's laughing. It's a little bit cold. I thought I moved to the warm South, Bill, and obviously I didn't. I'm here with my three creatives, lovely people I met at the National Publicity Summit a couple of months ago. They've been very patient about getting on the show, and we talk about creativity. It's curiosity. It's courageousness. It's all kinds of wonderful things. They're not singers and dancers and composers and artists and photographers. They're real people who have created interesting lives, many, many careers. If I counted Bill's careers and Angela's and Vivienne's and put them all together, I think I've got about 25 different careers. If you add mine in, we're over 50. So not age, just career wise. There you go. I'm going to play the music at some point and I'll have it teed up. So I would like to have my guests put your hands together in the shape of the letter L, please. Okay. And Jordan, are you streaming us? Are we seen on the YouTube channel on Voice America or just audio? What do you got? Jordan? He'll come back to me. Audio only. Okay, so we're just audio. So I want you all to do a shout out with me of a very, very special person. On the count of three, I want you to say hello, Happy New Year, L. L L. Bill, I want to see that letter L. There we go. One, two, three. Hello,
Hello.
Hello and
Happy
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 New
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 Year,
Year.
Year.
L.
L,
L,
L.
L,
L,
L.
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 Jordan, I want you to put them down for the best of the new year. They're the first on my show, but the best of the new year. So everybody's going to have to measure up to that. LLL is lovely, lanky Laura Legs, our most loyal listener. She's been listening to the show for many, many years. I met her in a dance class. I used to be a dance teacher, but I was taking some lessons in a big group class, and there she was, and we became friends. And she listens every single week. And Bill, at 6:01 p.m. Eastern time, I'm going to get an email from lovely, lanky Laura Legs, and she's going to tell me what you said on the show, Bill, like a little book report. And the same with Vivienne, and the same with Angela. And she's going to call me beautiful, gorgeous lady of red, and she's going to tell me how much she loved the show. So, Laura, we wish you a very, very happy new year. I've been trying to get Laura to move to a place that starts with L because she lives in Whitestone, New York. That's all I'll tell you about her. And that's a W. And so I accidentally moved to Loudon, Tennessee. And Angela, I told her that it's an L and it's not as expensive as London, but she still hasn't moved here yet. But maybe she'll visit me this year. So there you go. So it is January 6th. Oh my goodness. I think we can all do the math. It's the sixth day of January in 2025 in the Gregorian calendar. It used to be Julian, and he had a problem. Angela, when we get to your quantum things you're going to talk about, they were missing something like 14 days in the month of October in the Julian calendar. So if you were born on the 3rd or the 15th, I think you were in between, you were missing. I don't know how you knew when you were born, but they just skipped it. But so Gregorian came along and he said, I'm going to fix that. Now we have a leap year every fourth year, and he mostly fixed it. We have 359 days remaining. This is the first Monday of the year. I am absolutely thrilled to be here. And let me read my opening poem, my monologue, and I hope you all like it. When I call your name, just wave and smile especially brightly for me. Welcome to Read My Lips, where akaRadioRed shines bright, bringing cool conversations with creatives for your delight. In her Scarlett Mike's live streaming glow, everybody glow with me. She opens the door for creative, oh, you're good, for creative sparks to ignite and inspiration to soar. Soar and door rhyme together. Today's simple tools of creativity will brighten up your day with three vibrant creatives whose imaginations play. Passion and purpose help their brilliance unfold. They've discovered creativity's magic that makes life bold. Here we go with your individual sections. Bill Williams, from Texas Tech with a camera in hand to a broadcasting degree, both BA and MA planned. Bill Williams led a TV network, taught directing too. At Bowling Green, instructional visions he grew. Now publishing humor, he's had a career so vast, Bill is sharing his wisdom from a life that still moves fast. I hope.
Bravo.
All right, we got a first Bravo of the year, Vivienne Kjönö, and the key is that her name is spelled Kjono with some little dots over the O's, but it's Kjönö, she told me. From Wall Street's pulse to a podcast embrace, Vivienne Kjönö's talents light every creative space. She brought TGI Fridays to Europe's shore. As an entrepreneur, her ventures soar. Living life without limits fuels her drive. At Dolphin Imagination, Vivienne's passions thrive. I hope you like that, Vivienne.
Oh, I love
Oh, Mwah, back to you. And Dr. Angela Longo, from blending DNA in her mom's old blender, she'll explain later, to Hopi dances she always remembers. A PhD in biochemistry from Berkeley's halls, Dr. Angela Longo's reshaped healing with quantum calls. At her Quantum Wave Academy, lives transform. Angela's journey inspires through her platform. I hope you like that, Angela.
Wow.
Oh, we got a wow. Good. A bravo and a wow. Mahalo.
Thank you.
So the rest of the poem is Join Me, Radio Red, as we gather to see the simple tools of creativity that shine and make us free. So gather round, lend your eyes and your ears, if you're watching us on my LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook, as we dive into creativity with vision clear. akaRadio Roundtable is set today. We hope to inspire you to live large, love life, and play. So how'd we do? What'd you think?
Wonderful.
That was marvelous.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
It was quantum.
It was quantum. It was absolutely quantum. I'm really tempted to go and play the opening just so you could all hear it. And I have it here lined up. And you know what? I'm going to just do this. Jordan, I'm going to play my own opening in the middle of the show. And that's just the way it is. So let me go to advanced and let me go to computer audio here. And let me hit share and let me turn on my F10 key. And let's get the audio jacked up here. And I'm going to play this. And let's see if we can get the right one to open. And hold on here. 1 second. Read my lips open. There. Dance with me. Come on. I know you can hear
Welcome to Read My Lips
There we
Radio,
go.
a lively hour of unscripted conversations with savvy
That's
creatives.
you.
Producer and host,
That's
aka
me.
Radio Red, asks novelists, artists, photographers, designers, comedians, actors, musicians, composers, screenwriters, directors, and technology innovators about their creative passion, inspirational muses, and how they create. Ooh, how those lips can talk. Now, here's aka Radio Red.
Thank you to the wonderful voice who introduces me all the time. I appreciate that. There we go. We got our opening. Whether we didn't have it in the beginning or not, it really didn't matter. Now you've all done the official Read My Lips dance, and I feel better about it. I want to find out, is anybody in Aquarius here? It's the 11th sign in the Western Zodiac, December 22nd to January 21. Any Aquarians here? No? Okay. Well, you could be an honorary Aquarian because I'll tell you, they're creative and intellectual. They're independent. They're progressive thinkers. They're humanitarian, dedicated to making the world a better place. I think you all are. They're unconventional, and they're personality collectors. They surround themselves with a variety of people. Might not get to know everybody, but they value teamwork, collaboration, and the greater good. They're also stubborn. They need a lot of space and a lot of freedom, and don't try to control them. That's all I'll tell you. And famous Aquarians include Oprah Winfrey, Shakira, Harry Styles, Alicia Keys, Kerry Washington, Justin Timberlake, Jennifer Aniston, Michael Jordan, Ashton Kutcher, Ellen DeGeneres. I'm reading as fast as I can. Laura Dern, Ed Sheeran, Christian Bale, Chris Rock, Megan Thee Stallion, Elijah Wood, and Kelly Rowland. So anybody want to be an honorary Aquarian? Bill, what do you think? You want to join?
Sure, I'll be glad to volunteer.
Okay, you can volunteer. Angela, what'd you think? You want to be an Aquarian?
I have a son who's an Aquarian, so I've got a lot of it around me. I love it.
There you
I
go.
love it.
Vivienne, you want to join us? We're all voluntary Aquarians right now.
I will volunteer. My mother was born in January. She's awesome. So, yes, I'll join the group.
That's a wonderful thing to cite. Thank you very much. So what
Yeah.
I want to do now is go around the table and get a little more about you in addition to the bios that I read. And I'm so glad you enjoyed your rhyming bios. That's what I call them. Not really poems, rhyming bios. Bill Williams, I'm so delighted to have you on the show. You have such an interesting background. I'm putting you on full screen speaker view. And would you please spend about 3 minutes and condense your entire creative life into 3 minutes for us? Go
I
ahead.
don't know if we can do it in 3 minutes, but
I think
we'll
you
work
can,
on it.
Bill. Go ahead.
You hit it. I started at Texas Tech as a broadcasting major. I started at the daily paper there as a photographer and writer. Moved on from there to Austin, Texas, where I worked with the public television station at KLRN and managed a network there. Got an offer to help start a new television station in Bowling Green, Ohio, and thought, gee whiz, I've always wanted to live in Bowling Green, or actually in the mountains, but I didn't realize that it was Bowling Green, Ohio. I thought it was going to Kentucky, where the mountains were. Bowling Green, Ohio is about as flat as it was out in West Texas, but surprise, surprise, I was used to flat land. Was there for 3 years, and I went to Washington, D.C., opened my own communications consulting business, and was there 20 years. And then started raising a family, and I had lived all over the country, and as you mentioned, had gone to 14 schools before I got out of high school. And I thought I'd like for my two girls to be able to have a hometown and be around family and friends. So we moved to Ohio, and I changed careers and became a financial advisor. And that's where I am today, a financial advisor, and as of a couple days ago, a published author.
Tell us the name of your book and what it's based on, Bill. That's what I'm so excited about.
The name of the book is 20 Years of Internet Humor. And it's based upon the fact that when I got into financial planning, I had a bunch of salespeople that were not paying attention to this new thing called email. So I started sending them a thought for the day about 25, 30 years ago. And some of their clients got wind of it and said, hey, put us on the list too. And like Topsy, it just grew to where today I'm still sending it out 5 days a week. And I've got people all over the US. I've got people in Europe. I've got people in Asia. I've got people in Australia. And with all these thoughts clogging up my computer, I thought maybe I could do something else with it. And so I took it to a publisher and I said, I think this might make a good book. They said, yeah, but we think it'll probably make a series of about 10 or 12 books. So the first one came out January 1st. It's called 20 Years of Internet Humor and Some Other Interesting Things.
Absolutely wonderful. I have a little story to tell you, and the next bio will be Vivienne's in just a minute. About 1994, I got on AOL. I was already very computer savvy. I'm a programmer analyst from way back in the day, so I was technical for years.
America Online.
America Online. And they used to send anybody, our young viewers and listeners will probably
Little
know,
round
they
discs.
a disc came in the mail. It came at least 3 times a week, and it came in a little package and said, load this into the disk drive. We had disk drives in our computers and join America Online. So a lot of people, we still have some people who have AOL.com as their email platform, their carrier. So I joined, and I was in a kind of a fancy building I lived in, but I was the youngest working person, and there were people who had no idea what the internet was. These were older gentlemen with their businesses, and I called some of my friends. I was on the board of directors at the co-op, and I called them in and I said, you got to hear this. And I started on AOL, and it went, you know, the handshake, they call it. And they stood there and said, what is that? What is that? I said, I'm going online. They said, what is that? And I told them. Anyway, they were amazed. So somehow, Bill, I got connected to something called the Med Jokes list. I don't know how, I don't know who I met, but I met somebody and he put me on this listserv that was sending out jokes for lawyers and doctors. I was neither. So I started receiving these interesting jokes. Very interesting. Well, I didn't trust that they were going to stay on my computer, Bill, so I started printing them out. And I got a loose leaf binder I think I still have it. And I started printing them and punching a hole in them, and I collected all the jokes into a binder because I wanted to be able to say I was part of this Med Jokes group. I'm still friends today with somebody, 30 years later, who was part of the group, and he still sends out jokes and cartoons. But that was my early experience with humor on the internet. Bill, what do you think of that?
We may have to have a meeting.
I think we do. I think we do. I'll see what's left. Thank you, Bill. I loved your story when I met you at the summit, and I'm just delighted. Yes, we have a lot to talk about. Vivienne with the name that can't be pronounced because it's not Kjönö, it's Kjönö, and I'm going to call it Show now. So Vivienne, I want to show you now to my audience, and I'm putting you on speaker view. Would you please fill us in on what do you do? Vivienne, welcome.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I'm excited to be here with the team and also the fantastic energy. I'm a writer and a producer. My background started, I thought I was going to be a dentist way back in the day. Graduated a year before my class in high school and started taking those labs at the university. And, I just didn't have it. So I switched to the humanities. I didn't care what it was, so long as it was about people and negotiations. So I still was bored at college, went to San Francisco, got picked up by a big wirehouse, which is a stock and bond firm. I was an assistant. I was making very little money. And I convinced the corporate tennis people, hey, why don't you give me a chance? I'm good at tennis. Why don't you let me become a trader? Well, way back then, they actually kind of called the bet, and I was able to start my career in the stock and bond business. This was in the 80s, 90s. There wasn't too many women out there. And from there, I always had a passion for the creative side of business. And I like fashion. My mother says, well, that's like being an actress. You're never going to make it. And I thought, well, what does that have to be with the time of day? So anyway, I moved into the creative sector. I've just finished writing a book called Royal Crown Betrayal. And I actually have the book here, but we are doing a pre-launch starting February 4th. The book is actually about my mother during World War II as she escapes. Here it is.
Hold it steady. There we go. Hold it. Not green screen. Oh, there it is. Oh my goodness. I see lineage and I see at her wedding. Now. Yep. Go ahead.
Yep. And so the bottom line, she's 9.5 and she is going to a Catholic school and suddenly the tanks are rolling in and she's the only one on the street. They were told to the Nazis to shoot anything that moves. Well, they didn't want to shoot a 9.5-year little girl. So it takes it from there, their escape with her grandmother back to New York City, and then takes her life through very interesting twists and turns. So my mother has raised two strong ladies and my brother. And this book is about being a victor. Who wants to be a survivor in life? You want to have victory and you still want to end up being a nice person, even if you've gone through a lot of things. So we just finished this book. This was co-authored with my sister and myself. And then because as a creative, of course, I like to write fantasy story. And I co-authored with the lady, Lori Langdon. And she was with Disney in the Villain series. And I'm going to release A Divine Darkness. So that's kind of exciting. So we got 2 books coming out the first of the year. And I also get back to young people. I love young people. I'm part of Mentor USA, kids age 12 to 17. And we're doing a contest called Living the Example as a video and want to give people scholarships. So
Wonderful.
That's it in a nutshell.
Wonderful.
Don't limit yourself.
Do not. I'm not a limiter person. I think you can tell. You are an example of an Aquarian, Vivienne. You fit that profile very, very well. So there you go.
You.
And by the way, the logo behind you makes you look like you've got this beautiful gold circle, or doesn't she, Angela? She looks like she's just wearing this halo that's just glorious, and it goes beautifully with your color of your hair.
But you told me to wear the blue. Remember when we did the? I said, okay, I remember what this lady wants, and I want to say why I have dolphin imagination very quickly.
Yes,
I'm
please.
a water person. Okay, so dolphin imagination, why do we care? Well, we should care. Dolphins are loyal and they share. So that's my brand. I want to be loyal to the people on my team. I never close anything on my own. It's a village that helps make it happen.
Thank you. Thank you. That's lovely. And your logo is majestic. Right,
Thank
Bill?
you.
I think it's
Yeah.
majestic. I like it very much.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Thank
lovely,
you.
lovely presentation, Vivienne.
Thank you.
Let's go
Thank
to
you.
Dr. Angela Longo. I know nothing about quantum, my dear. So why don't you give us, you got three, I'll give you 3.5 minutes. Tell us who you are, what you do, and what in the world are we getting into here with quantum? Is it going to make me, is it going to make me better, smarter, prettier, lighter, taller? Taller. We'll go for
It's
taller.
Yeah.
It's
Go
going to
ahead.
let you know that you are all those things already. Just like Vivienne's logo, it looks like the beginning of her quantum waves. We're made of these spherical quantum waves that go out to the whole universe. And then they come back, they bounce back, and they spin. And when they spin, we appear. We are a spinning quantum wave, and it changes every moment depending on what we're living, what we're thinking. Actually, I made up a word thanks to Gandhi of 8 things that the quantum waves are made of. They're made of all your information, but I didn't like that word. So, because we're not things, we're just motion. I was a chemist. And so I changed it to information. So we're made of all of our information,
Yeah.
and the 8 most important ones are beliefs, actions, thoughts, habits, words, attitudes, values, and emotions. And if you take the first letter, you get the word bath wave. And that fits what Vivienne was saying again, because the bath wave is like water, right? And when we get in water, how do you feel? You feel great for a while. If you don't feel well, just go jump in your shower and find out. And you'll feel, a little better. And that's why dolphins are so happy all the time, just
There you
spinning up in
go.
the air. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my
Yeah.
first technique is called the bath wave. You just love what it is that you want to change in your life, love it, and then replace it with what you want, and your quantum waves give it to you instantly. The emergent miracle. So quantum waves are huge, and we mirror each other. So what you said about us when we got on today was about you, Red. You're wonderful. You're beautiful. You're brilliant. All the things you said about us were mirrors of you. Right?
Well,
That's the truth.
that's
And
absolutely
that's called,
beautiful.
well, but it's true. It's called entanglement. Any 2 electrons are going to mirror each other instantly. And I call that our mirror call. Everything in our life can give us a mirror of ourselves. But I didn't like the word entanglement because it says, well, we're tangled with each other. But,
Mhm.
who wants to be tangled with each other? So my
Sometimes.
Norwegian client, my Norwegian client gave me the right word. She said, I'm tingling when I do these bath
I
waves.
love
And I
that.
said, you're entangling.
Entanglement.
Entanglement. So that's the
Entanglement.
quantum word. Entanglement.
Angela,
So
I love the vocabulary. We want to know a little bit about your background. How did you get into chemistry? How did you start with quantum? How did you founded your company? So why don't you give us a little background? I love what you
well,
shared with us. I do.
the background is that as a child, I was curious about everything. And this woman who went to our church, she was a biochemist, and she took me to her lab, and I saw a picture of DNA, and I couldn't believe it. I thought it was just gorgeous. And she said, would you like to extract some? So she gave me a couple chemicals. I went and got some chicken livers from my mother, put them in the blender, and pulled out DNA. And that was the beginning. I kept winning the science fairs, and it got me a scholarship to college. And then I got a scholarship to Berkeley, UC, and got my PhD in biochemistry. But I got sick while I was doing it, so I went to see an acupuncturist herbalist who escaped from China. And sure enough, it's faster and better than biochemistry. So then I went into acupuncture and herbs. I'm like Bill, I just kept changing to be what I really wanted to be. And then after acupuncture and herbs, I got a diagnosis of liver cancer 25 years ago. And I said, oh, even Chinese medicine doesn't get that very quickly. So that's when I said, I'm going to do quantum tools. And that's when I came up with bath waves. I could change anything by just making the choice of what I really wanted. And I asked what my purpose was, and I came up with a tool to read people's purposes. And that's how I'm here. I read people's purposes and help them get through any blocks they have in their quantum waves, and we replace them. We face them and embrace them and replace them with your grace. It's an ACE tool. So I love short poems. I'm a haiku specialist.
Are you really? Very, very
17
interesting.
syllables, yeah.
That's right. Absolutely. There's another word for haiku. Haiku is about nature. When I learned this, there's something called a senryu, Senryu, that is the same number of syllables and the format of a haiku, but it's about people or things that are not nature. I belonged to a poetry group for 2 years, and somebody corrected me because I was doing a haiku every week, and limericks too. I love limericks, and I love top downs and disappearing nines. I learned, there's 125 forms of poetry. Vivienne is wonderful. Bill is wonderful. Angela, you're a total surprise. I had no idea what I was getting into when I invited you on the show. You are absolutely delightful. Absolutely. I thought I didn't know you had this verve and zest, and you were going to make this so much fun. I thought we were going to, quantum is this and quantum is that. You just made it so much fun. I want to be quantum now. And thank you for the kind words you said about me. I will tell you all that some of my listeners know. You're welcome. My listeners don't know, or they might if they follow. Laura knows this. LLL knows this. I don't pick guests because they have something in common with each other. I go to the Publicity Summit and I have about 3 or 4 months of shows in a calendar. And as I meet people in these breakout rooms, I'll say, are you available on January 6th? And they'll say, yeah. I say, okay, you're on. And I just throw people together. And Bill and Vivienne and Angela, every week I find out there's so much people have in common. It's wonderful. These threads, these humanity threads. I didn't say manatees. I said humanity, humanity. Bill got that. Threads where we all are. We're all part of the same fabric somehow. We're all people, and we have passions, and we have a heart, and we have things that excite us, and things we want to do. And we're allowed, Bill, aren't we, to change our minds? And I think I'm on my 9th career now. I think I have
Probably
lost.
close to you.
Are you really? Okay, you and I definitely have to talk. What I want to do now, and by the way, I created a trailer for this show, and if we have time at the end, I'm going to save it. It's 59 seconds. It's a riot, and I'm going to display it. I'm going to play it for the show. I think you're going to love it. I'm doing trailers as a new business, a new business, Bill. I'm doing trailers for people and their families. And you'll have to see this. That's it. I don't sell anything, but I am. So let's go around. You each graciously sent me a quote from a movie or a song or a TV show, something that means something to you about your creativity. And we're way past being on schedule, and I don't really care because we're having so much fun. So Bill Williams sent a quote from a song by John Denver, performed all the way back in 1971. The song was co-written by Bill Danoff, Taffy Nivert, and John Denver, released as a single, performed on April 12, 71. It peaked at number 2 on Billboard U.S. Hot 100 singles for the week ending August 28th, and it was certified gold and platinum it was certified platinum in 2017. Inspiration for the title, I'll tell you the title in a second, came from while married couple Taffy and Bill were driving along Clopper Road in Montgomery County, Maryland, to a family gathering in Gaithersburg. Taffy was driving and Bill played the guitar. And he said, I just started thinking country roads. Aha, there's the clue. I started thinking of me growing up in Western New England and going on all these small roads. It didn't have anything to do with Maryland or any place. Anyway, they worked on the song for a month. They were going to sell it to Johnny Cash. Did you know that, Bill? They were going to sell the song. Yes, you know that. To Johnny Cash. John Denver said, I've got to have it. So the song is Take Me Home, Country Roads. And I want to know, Bill, let's pare it down to 2 minutes because we have so much to talk about. Bill, what does this have to do with your creativity? Go ahead, Bill.
Well, as it turns out, in college, I was friends with another guy who had a sergeant, Air Force sergeant for a father, and as I did, and we got to be friends. His name was Johnny Dutchendorf. And he was getting ready to drop out of school. And I said, John, stick around, finish your degree. It'll be worth it in the future. He said, no, I'm going out to California. I think I can make it as a singer. And he did. He changed his name to John Denver. And that was one of the worst pieces of advice I think I ever gave. And that's my favorite song of John's.
Thank you very much. Very, very interesting. I'm always intrigued by the songs people pick and the movies and the TV shows. Vivienne, let's go to you. You have picked a song from Thriller by Michael Jackson, 1979. We're in the 70s, kids, from the album Off the Wall. I just adored that album. The song was written by Michael Jackson, released by Epic Records on, that's a tongue twister, July 10th, 1979. It's the first track on Off the Wall, his fifth studio album, his first solo recording where he had control of creative direction. That reminds me of you having your control of your direction. The song won his first Grammy Award and an American Music Award. There was an accompanying music video with him dancing in October of that year, showing him in triplicate in different color backgrounds. And that's where I'm going to stop. So the song is "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough." I was a disco dancer and a teacher, and I remember. These were wonderful. Vivienne, how'd you pick this one? Go ahead.
Well, first of all, I just love your music, and it has to have great tempo. And like you said, you're learning to play. You're already playing drums. It's got to have that backbeat, and it's kind of a reflection of my life. Is I've always been told no, but no is a fuel to yes. So I brought TGI Fridays to Northern Europe against all odds. I was actually competing with their international group in Dallas. TGI Fridays' own department. They gave up on Northern Europe, meaning Scandinavia, but a couple of phone calls, I made it happen. I also can say that I was honored to meet Quincy Jones, 2015, 2016. I was in his home, and it was talk about meeting an icon, and then you put together all the things that he has done and his foundation to find the talent and bring the talent to the world. So don't stop till you get enough. It's like being the Energized Bunny. I love it. It's kind of my mojo.
I love it. Don't stop till you get enough. Wonderful.
Yeah, baby.
Great beat, great music. Yes.
Yeah.
He made his contribution. He made his mark, definitely. Yes. Michael Jackson, Imagination. There we go. Angela has picked a classic, iconic quote from Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, 1980 sci-fi adventure film. And this is from Yoda, voiced by Frank Oz. And I'm just going to read it because there's just too much to say about it. Yoda said, "Do or do not. There is no try." Angela, 2 minutes. How does this describe your creativity? Go.
The way he said it was do or do not do, but never try. And that just totally sums up the quantum world, jumping off of what Bill and Vivienne says. We have to do it. We have to live it in order for it to manifest in the quantum world. So I wrote 3 books. And I was a scientist. I didn't know how to write. So I had to use my bathwave tool to become a writer. And I did. I ended up writing Quantum Wave Living Workbook. Can you see it?
Great.
Yes, we can. Right there. Yep, we see it. Thank you.
And a Quantum Wave Living History book of how I got there. And the latest one is the first of a trilogy. And it's going to be a movie, the Quantum Love Story.
There you go.
Miracles of Sovereign Purpose.
Ooh.
And with a lot of poetry, haikus, or what you called them, that other word, I forget the word.
Senryu.
But, say it again.
Senryu. Senryu.
RYU. Okay, I'm going to look that one up because I think that's what I write. If you dare to bare your heart naked, you turn your scared into sacred. And that's basically what you do. We're all sacred. We're all triplets. We have quantum waves as big as the universe. That's one of us. And those quantum waves spin to make our body, I call it the turnaround body. And then there's an awareness. The third one of us is like cheering us on, like a, what do you call it? Somebody who cheers you, a cheerleader. And that one I call the glowing awareness, which is one of your favorite words, Red,
Yep.
because we do glow, and that awareness shows us what we're doing. And the books have all the maps, 8 maps I wrote to help people to find out what that stuff is that's in their way, or what their stuff is that they really want to do, their purpose. So do or do not do what you really desire. Forget about trying. And that's why I picked that, because
you.
Star Wars is based on the quantum discoveries, and it's not hard like scientists try and tell you. It's very easy to do this stuff. Just like Sky Luke, what's his name? I forget his
Luke
name.
Skywalker. My camera just cut out
Luke
for some reason.
Skywalker.
My camera
Yeah,
just
Luke,
stopped.
thank you. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Red. Yeah, you are frozen.
I'm gonna leave the meeting and come right
Bye.
back. Don't go away because I'm just gone. My camera just turned off on my
Okay.
Mac, which has never happened. So
Okay.
don't go away. We'll come right back. Let
Okay.
me see.
Yeah, well,
No,
we
I'm not
say
going to
you're a
assign.
little
Hold on. Let me see what's going on here. So